right, so I am going to do a couple of projects where I'm going to do a motion blur, and then I want you to uh, do something similar with an image of your own. So these are practice images. And the first thing I'm going to do is I have um, two different images that I'm going to play with. Okay. So I'm going to open them both up. I'm going to go into my desktop blur folder. I've got two full things here, and I'm going to open them both up. Okay. So two different things are going to happen. All right. So let's do this one first. And this one is really interesting. I think you'll enjoy it. So look over here. We have a layer, right? So look over on the right-hand side. Pretty important that we have a layer. If you don't see layers, go to Window, Layers, because that's where I've got mine, okay? So I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do Control J. So there's going to be a new layer, okay? And then I'm going to just do another one, Control J. So I have three layers here. So this is going to be subject. So that's on top. This is going to be blur. Okay. So I'm just gonna, it kind of helps me to have these written down, because then, I kind of know where I'm at. So I'm gonna go to my subject layer. And for this one, I want to select this man because he is gonna stay stable while the layers underneath are gonna be blurred. Okay, so I'm gonna start with this one. I'm gonna select subject. If you don't see that, you can go up to here and do select subject. You can also come over here and do object selection tool. So there's a lot of ways to do it, but I'm going to start with the easiest, and it takes a while for this to happen. That looks excellent. So remember, I'm on my subject line. Now, I actually want to get rid of everything else. I want to keep the subject. So I'm going to go to Select Inverse. So that's everything else. So now everything else is selected. And then I'm going to do Edit, Cut. Okay. Now it doesn't look like it's cut, and that's because we're seeing the underneath layers. If I turn off the other layers, we just see him, just see the guy, right? So I'm going to turn on those layers again. And so over here, I'm not going to do anything else with the subject, but down here with the blur layer, I'm going to go here. And I don't have to worry about the man at all, because the man on this top layer is going to supersede all of that. So down here on this layer, I want the train to be moving, but I don't want this floor to be moving, and I don't want the orange kind of not a sidewalk, but pathway to be done. So this is what I'm going to do for that. I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to look for the polygonal lasso tool. Okay. And what I'm going to do here is okay, well, there I am. I'm going to go over here. Then I'm going to, I want to stop it. Hold on. Now I'm going to come down to where this orange part starts. And then I'm going to go across. So basically, I'm going to define the area that I want to blur. So I'm going to do that here. I'm going to join them. Once I join them, it's like that. Okay. And so now, hold on a second. And so right now, I'm going to, where am I? So it's Control Z. There I am. And so I want just this section to be blurred. That's my square. So I'm going to go over here to filter, and I'm going to go to blur, and then I'm going to go over here to motion. Okay. And this confused me at first because right now I'm zeroed in on this guy. So I'm going to go further out, or actually the sidewalk, so I can actually see what I'm doing here. Okay. So this is what it looks like. And now the distance is 3. I am going to kind of change it. And sometimes it takes a while for this to get blurry. So now let me do this. Okay, do you see how that is quite a bit more blurred? Okay, so I'm going to do it like that. Okay, so I can say that's what I like. Now remember, I don't have to worry about this guy because the guy on the top layer is going to be on top of him. Okay, so once I like the blur, I'm going to go okay, and I'm going to deselect, and that's what it looks like. Okay, why does it look like that? It looks like that because the subject is on top of it, right? So there the subject is, I cut that out and I have the non-blurred subject on top, okay? Now, if I wanted to, I could clean up a little bit. So that actually looks fairly good. There's some different things I could do if I felt like this guy wasn't popping up enough. One thing is I could click on blur here and I could come here and I could do, we've done this before. I could start looking and kind of seeing other things behind and see what I like or don't like. I could try some different things if I wanted. Um, but then remember, this is just kind of my blurred version of this. Let's see what that looks like. Um, And, so I can play around with that some more if I like. I actually don't like that because it doesn't look as blurred as it was. So I'm just gonna go back to normal. Um, I'm just gonna kind of tell you the versions of things I could do because when you blur something on your own, you may want to change it a little bit. I also could be on this blur level and I could do an effects. Okay. Remember that. I could go to bevel and emboss. What I might want to do here is try some other things with this. I could try some different things. Wait, I got to turn that off. I might try some different things to see if I like it or not. No, I don't like that. So I can try some different things like that. So just kind of letting you know what some of the options are. But that all of a sudden, why would I do this? It's hard. You have to have a nice camera. You have to catch it at just the right time um, to get a really good moving subway behind this guy. And so this is another way just to create movement. Okay, so that's one way to do it. All right. So let's go over here. Let's go to our surfer. Okay, so here's a surfer that I'm practicing with. This is a pretty high quality thing here. But let's say right now he's kind of moving a little bit. So I'm going to kind of do the same thing that I did before. I'm going to do Control J, and then I'm going to make this layer. I'm going to double click this, and this is going to be called Surfer. Okay. Then I'm going to do this one, Control J, and this one is going to be called the motion. Okay. So let's go up to Surfer layer here. I'm going to select subject. Looks great. Checking it. Now I'm going to go up here, select inverse, and then I'm going to cut that out. Okay, so it doesn't look like it's cut out, but if I got rid of these other layers, we would see the surfer cut out. Okay, so now I'm going to go back to those layers, and now I'm going to go to my motion layer. Okay, so my motion layer is here, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to use that polygonal tool again, and I'm already on it, so I'm going to do this. And what I want to do is I want to make this last part more blurred. Okay. So I'm going to, hold on. Okay. So I'm going to do this. This one is a rounder shape, so I'm going to put more little dots. I'm just going to keep doing dots. I don't have to be too exact, but I'm going to do it like that. I'm going to go up here. I'm actually going to go all the way over to this one. Okay, so now it's selected, and that is the part that I want to do the motion with, what's in here. So I'm going to go up here to my filter, and I'm going to do here, I'm going to do a motion blur. Okay, and I want to see where I'm at here. So I want to kind of put this here. And oh wow, this has a big blur, too much of a blur. Right now it's 176. You can't even see his feet. So I think I'm going to make this more like I'm going to move this down. And this preview doesn't really catch up with it. It takes a while for it to catch up. So I'm going to kind of do it a little bit like this. I think I'm going to do it a little bit more like that. So it's going to be just a little bit more blurry back there. Now I'm going to deselect it, and you can see that it's, especially over here on the feet, you can see it's a little more blurry, it's a little faster. Okay. So those are kind of some of the things that I could do. I've got my motion layer. I'm going to go back up to my surfer, and just for fun, I'm going to come over here in my toolbar, and I'm going to click on my I'm going to click on my paintbrush. And I think what I'm going to do here is just make his face a little brighter. Okay. So I just want to make his face. I'm going to brush over his face a little bit because I want to just sort of highlight his face a little bit. I'm just doing this kind of fast here, but you can kind of do this just to kind of sort of highlight him a little bit, make him pop a little bit. So here I've got the motion. Over here, I have the train as a motion. So after you've tried both these things, what I want you to think of is, what can you take a picture of that's a motion? So for example, could you have one person in the hallway and then two people in the background, and then those two people in the background are going to be blurred to kind of show that they're moving and the person in the front is not. I want you to try and think of a picture that you can take, or a picture that you have where you can have some people in that picture in motion. Okay. And then that's what I'd like you to submit.